Yahoo! Come on! Oh yeah! Hey! Hey!
Mario Kart Wii is an incredibly memorable game with loads of fantastic content that's both fun and intriguing. It's a staple game on the Wii, one of Nintendo's greatest consoles, and though it falls behind Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in sales, it's arguably the greatest Mario Kart game of all time. It was an instant classic for its engaging gameplay, taking advantage of the Wii's motion controls in an awesome way. The game, which is now 14 years old, may be a part of Nintendo's history, but it is far from forgotten. The Mario Kart Wii community is still thriving, and these community members are making more and more discoveries about the game daily. This iceberg, created by u/Chillin0, will go over an incredible amount of the game's trivia. From stories in the community to strings of data hidden deep within the recesses of this game's code to oddities and advertising, we're going to learn a whole lot about this game. Before we get started, I want to ask you to hit the like and subscribe button if you like this video, and make sure to check out my other iceberg videos if you enjoy this one. Anyways, thank you for your attention, and sit down, relax, and get ready for a deep dive into the Mario Kart Wii iceberg. Also, just a quick note, I want to shout out the Cutting Room Floor and B_Squo, who discovered a ton of the stuff in this video. Next, shout out to the noclip.website for being a good model viewing resource, which I think you should check out for fun if you have some free time. And finally, I want to give a special thanks to Bento Cage, who provided a ton of help to me when I made this video. Let's get into it. Ultra Shortcuts. Ultra Shortcut is a term for shortcuts in Mario Kart Wii that cut down a huge portion of the track. These aren't just your run-of-the-mill shortcuts, but insane ones that may only be possible with tools and usually require a mushroom. They're occasionally banned in tournaments and speedrun categories for being considered glitches. These can be very fun to watch and perform, and their discovery and history is a huge part of the Mario Kart Wii community. 2014 Wi-Fi Shutdown. On May 20th, 2014, the Wii and DS's online service, the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection, was shut down. As such, you can't play Mario Kart Wii online anymore without mods. Like many shutdowns, there were players hanging on to the very end. One of the saddest stories for me is this video recorded the night of the Wi-Fi shutdown, where this race was cut off literally right in the middle. We'll talk about the last ever online match later on in this iceberg. And though this is heartbreaking as server shutdowns always are, there is still hope for those who wish to play, fan-made services. There are plenty of fantastic guides out there, and if you have a Wii, it's a super accessible thing to do. Wheelies. Wheelies are a Mario Kart technique available only in Mario Kart Wii. You could pop a wheelie with a bike in the game, giving you a speed boost, though if you were bumped, you would slow down. It contributed to bikes being overpowered in the game, which is partially why they wouldn't return in Mario Kart 8. Though that game has a wheelie animation, it doesn't actually have a functional wheelie in the sense that Mario Kart Wii did. They're pretty satisfying to perform, especially with the motion controls. Coconut Mall. Coconut Mall is one of the greatest Mario Kart Wii courses, perhaps the greatest Mario Kart course in general, I dare say. Okay, well, actually, from a competitive or technical perspective, it's not necessarily the greatest, but it's still a very fun and memorable course. It's been made into a meme recently.
You just got coconut mauled. Share this with all your friends to totally coconut maul them.
And it's also coming back in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC, though not as well remastered as some were hoping. Drifting Rework. I believe this entry refers to the way that drifting is a lot different in Mario Kart Wii from other Mario Kart games, namely there's the introduction of the automatic and manual system, and also in previous games you would spam the stick back and forth for mini turbos, which was removed in Mario Kart Wii. TWD98, from here on out referred to as Troy, is a Mario Kart YouTuber who plays a ton of Mario Kart Wii. He's extremely active in the community and he's created a lot of fun content. He's been credited with multiple world records and we'll be talking about him a lot in this iceberg. Wifi is the replacement service for the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection that I mentioned earlier. It was originally created to exclusively support Mario Kart Wii Play and launched May 10th, 2014. Created by Mario Kart player WII, he had been preparing for the eventual closure of the server, so he actually had the program up and running before the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection was even shut down, which is incredible planning. Since its initial release, over 100 more games have been added to the service, including Mario Kart DS and Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Funky Kong Flame Runner. This entry refers to playing as Funky Kong with the Flame Runner bike, as it's essentially the best character and vehicle choice there is when it comes to speed and handling. The bike is extremely versatile, and currently, 14 of the 32 course record times for the game have been set with this bike. That's the reason almost all speedrunning content and even just contemporary Mario Kart Wii content features this character and vehicle combination. Same character glitch. The same character glitch is a glitch which allows 2 or more players to use the same character in local multiplayer, even though this wasn't intended for normal gameplay. To do this, you have every player select and deselect the desired character, then go to the previous screen, then go forward again and have everyone select the character. POW Dodge by Trick Button. If you didn't know this already, you can dodge the devastating effects of the POW block by doing a trick at just the right time. If you pull it off, you'll spin out and lose items, but you'll maintain your speed. Mr. Bean 35,000 VR. Mr. Bean 35,000 VR, who I'll now be referring to as Mr. Bean to make it shorter, is an English YouTuber and incredibly prominent member of the Mario Kart Wii community. He's perhaps best known for being the first to crack the Mario Kart Wii security code in 2009, alongside his brother, Chatters, who's an equally important member of the community, creating the very first custom track in the process. He and his brother made further modifications to the game, and he was pursued and banned constantly by Nintendo for hacking. Furthermore, he and Chatters created CTGP Revolution, the quintessential Mario Kart Wii mod which adds over 200 tracks to Mario Kart Wii and is still updated to this day. He's also held 10 world records for the game during his career. He is generally loved by the community, and he still streams Mario Kart Wii on Twitch to this day. CTGP. CTGP Revolution is the mod I just mentioned, created by Mr. Bean and his brother Chatters. Containing 216 tracks and 2 secret tracks, the mod allows for online play and many other innovative features. I'll link an installation guide for the mod if you're interested in playing it. It looks very cool. Galaxy Colosseum. Galaxy Colosseum is a Mario Kart Wii battle stage used during online tournaments. Now what this means is that the map could only be used in tournament mode, not offline, so you actually can't play it through normal means anymore. Each tournament was slightly different, and the map and characters within it changed as well. The first involved a race to knock 4 spiky top men off the map as quickly as possible. The next tournament was essentially the same, though the rings of the map could fall off, and 6 spiky top men were featured. The third expanded the task to allow for any kart or bike. As you can imagine, this course can be modded back into the game, but it's very strange that Nintendo essentially locked this content away outside of tournament mode. Character stats. Each character in Mario Kart Wii has unique stats based on the following categories: speed, weight, acceleration, handling, drift, off-road, and mini turbo. However, not every character has a stat for each category. They just have bonus stats, and the rest of their statistics are based off their weight class. As you could imagine, Funky Kong is generally considered to have the best combination of these. Inside drift. Depending on the vehicle you use in Mario Kart Wii, you can either drift inside or outside. Inside drifting bikes like the Flame Runner are very overpowered, and drifting outside is essentially an unviable strategy. Though inside drifting returned from Mario Kart 8, it was much less effective. Speed preservation. This is a very general entry that includes all the different ways people keep their speed up while racing, such as constantly popping wheelies and drifts. I'm not the best one to explain it, but there are a lot of valuable guides out there if you're looking to up your Mario Kart game. Bam! Shock Dodge. Bam Shock Dodge is a famous meme in the Mario Kart Wii community that comes from one of Troy's videos. Here's the original clip.
I totally am faster than him. I just let him pass for the sake of, for the sake of BAM! Shock Dodge! Yeah.
It's referring to a shock dodge, which is where you avoid getting shocked in one of a couple of ways, but in this video he does it by entering a cannon at just the right time. This video came out back in 2011, but the meme is very much still alive to this day. Paratrooper and Petey Piranha. I'll just shorten these two items into one entry because they're basically the same thing. Both of these characters appeared in Mario Kart Double Dash, but they didn't return for Mario Kart Wii. And to this day, it's not entirely known why these characters didn't make an appearance, but icons for both of them appear in the game's files, so at some point they must have been considered. Hammer Bro. The Hammer Bro is a Mario Kart character that made his first Mario Kart appearance as a spectator in Mario Kart Super Circuit, and though he wouldn't show up as a playable character until Mario Kart Tour, he was at least considered to be implemented in Mario Kart Wii because of his icon's appearance in the game's files, just like the last two characters. I didn't combine this entry though because he wasn't in Double Dash, so his appearance was a little bit less likely. This entry is referring to a YouTube video uploaded in 2011 by 121KN with over 22 million views. It shows him using Flame Flyer Moonhop strats, which were new at the time. It's believed that the reason for this upload was that KN discovered the super low trick at the very end of the wavy section of this video, but in the description he admits he doesn't think it's that practical. Interestingly, because of the title of the video being punctuation, you can't find it via YouTube search. You have to get a direct link or have it recommended to you or search the channel. This entry's notoriety comes from the fact that for whatever reason, millions of people have seen this video end up in their YouTube recommendations. I know I personally saw this video years ago, even though I didn't go out of my way to watch a ton of Mario Kart Wii content. Mii Outfit C. The Mii Outfit C is a piece of cut content in the game evidenced by this icon left in the game's files. It's slightly different from the icons for the A and B outfits, which were fully implemented into the game, suggesting that this outfit didn't get that far along into development. Minimap Oddities. There are many inconsistencies between minimaps in the game and the actual shape of the track, suggesting that maybe the minimaps were made before last-minute changes to the tracks were implemented. One such example of this can be seen in the minimap for DK Summit, where some of the turns are much sharper than they actually are in the course. Some of these changes are really small, down to the polygon count, like this inconsistency in Toad's Factory. DK Summit boxes. Far below the map on DK Summit, you can find 3 item boxes in a line. It's not known why these exist, but it's obviously just an accident. Mission Mode. Mission Mode is an unused mode with some artifacts left within the game's files. It was probably intended to be like the Mission Mode of Mario Kart DS and speculated to have been replaced by Tournament Mode. Some references to it were discovered by Mr. Bean in 2017. He has a video on his channel highlighting all of these details, which are pretty interesting and suggest some features like boss fights, a star ranking system, and upwards of 64 available challenges. There have been fan recreations based on what information we have, which you can play for yourself. Ultra Shortcut Revolution. The Ultra Shortcut Revolution is a phenomenal Mario Kart Wii 2-part documentary created by Summoning Salt and uploaded to YouTube in early 2021. I highly recommend watching it, as it goes over the entire history of Ultra Shortcuts in the game. It's an incredibly popular contemporary Mario Kart Wii video, which is why it's on this iceberg, and it's influenced a ton of newcomers to join the community. Airtime is slower. Despite what it might look like when you're flying through the air, you're actually much faster on the ground. What this means is that you should attempt to do lower tricks or get as little time in the air as effectively possible if you want to go fast. Some really good players hit ramps at the side for this very reason so that they get a lower height on the jump. American and European differences. There are plenty of small differences between the American and European versions of these games. Some of these differences are so tiny that you just wonder why they're there. Can you spot the difference between the European and American startup screens? No? Well, it's the trademark versus copyright symbol by the title. Okay, that one makes sense for why it's there, but names of settings are slightly tweaked, for no apparent reason, but they pretty much all retain the same meaning. Soft drifting. A soft drift is a drift where the wheel is only tilted slightly but a mini turbo is still charged, usually used for tight quarters. It's very effective, especially when used in tandem with other advanced drifting techniques. Like many of these strategies, it's something you can spend hours learning about and practicing yourself. Weird records. While this is a very open-ended entry, I'm thinking that it's talking about records done with objectively stupid settings and character/kart combinations, like using karts instead of bikes, automatic instead of manual transmission, and just random characters. If you're bored and looking for some Mario Kart Wii content, I'd suggest checking some of these goofy videos out. Daisy Circuit Jumpscare. This entry refers to a now infamous video posted back in 2008 which claimed to show off a new secret shortcut for Daisy Circuit, but instead cuts to a jump scare. I won't play it, but you can find it very easily. A lot of people must have been pranked by this because the video has over 300,000 views. Eventually, around 12 years after this video's release, another shortcut on Daisy's circuit would be discovered. Mogi Lounge. The Mogi Lounge is pretty much the biggest competitive community for Mario Kart Wii right now. There's sort of a perception in the community that this lounge is way too competitive, but hey, that's just the price to pay for Mario Kart greatness. You can check out this video here if you want to get involved with it, but essentially it's just another competitive Mario Kart Wii community. Bagging. Bagging is a strategy used in competitive 5v5 races. Essentially, it involves a team picking one bagger whose job it is to stay in last place for a good shot at getting the lightning item to shock the other team. Now, when both teams do this, the game essentially has two races, the regular race and a race between the two baggers to stay in last place but also get an item box. If you think about that strategically, that can get insane. The possibilities involved with having to be just slow enough but not too slow, it's crazy. And the need for bagging has created backwards driving strategies that are absolutely crazy. Melee of Mario Kart. I interpret this phrase to mean that Mario Kart Wii is the Mario Kart equivalent of Smash Bros. Melee in the sense that it has an ever-present cult following and plenty of room for competitive play and advanced strategies. Both of these games can be exploited and have tons of unintended side effects that have spawned tons of interesting strategies, and the next entry for both of these series tightened up those glitches, in some ways making them less appealing. Though both of these games are relatively outdated, they're still extremely popular and have insanely tight communities. Spin drift. A spin drift is a technique that requires jumping one way, turning the other way while mid-air, and then going back the original direction once landed. It helps racers travel along tight corners and get some more airtime. Characters don't actually matter. While this is sort of a meme, it's trying to say that most differences in speed come from your kart choice and not character. Unless you're getting into insanely competitive levels, your character choice doesn't really matter, and no, using Funky Kong will not automatically make you good. When you play with items especially, and if you know how to make a good character kart combo and you're skilled in general, you can probably use whatever character you want. However, when you get to incredibly high time trial levels, character choices are extremely important. Respawn boost. A respawn boost or recovery boost is a long-standing technique that's been used since Mario Kart 64. It entails getting a boost when Lakitu drops you onto the track, which is very helpful for players that have lost some ground. Essentially, you have 8 frames of opportunity to hit a trick when dropped, and this can be very difficult because with different terrain, you're actually dropped from different heights, making this insanely difficult to pull off sometimes. Lightweights. Again, this is an open-ended entry, but it's probably referencing the fact that in general, lightweight characters are not useful in the game. Though there are some shortcuts accessible only to lightweight cars, they get bumped around a lot and don't go as fast, which is why they're generally absent from high-level online play. American flag. Strangely, there's an unused sprite for an American flag that's different from the one used in the final version of the game. It was probably a placeholder and not an earlier version of the flag due to the fact that it's much blurrier than the updated version, and there are no blurrier versions of other countries' flags anywhere in the game. Overlapping item boxes. In Waluigi Stadium, for some reason, there are 2 item boxes placed in the exact same spot. You can occasionally see them clipping through one another. The reason for this is unknown, but we can assume that they were just doubled on accident. Coconut Mall boost gradient. Now, you probably didn't notice this while racing, but at Coconut Mall, the boost pad color gradient is rainbow as opposed to the typical pinkish, reddish, yellowish gradient. Not only that, but the icon is slightly different. It's likely this is left over from an earlier build in the game, but they just forgot to change it. Draw_demo. I have no idea how epilepsy works, but this hurt my eyes to look at, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw out a photosensitivity warning. Draw Demo is an incredibly cursed course left in the game. As the name suggests, it was probably just a test for the game's rendering, and it's just a version of Mario Circuit, but with a few differences. There are no animations in the course, the chain chomp is missing, and there's the obvious fact that it looks like this. I'm honestly not sure how this hasn't been the setting for a terrible creepypasta or something like that. It's so awful to look at. Ugh. 4 GCN Mario Circuits and files. So there are a total of 12 unused courses listed in the game's files, like Draw Demo and a few others. 4 of them, however, are slightly different versions of GCN Mario Circuit. The first one appears to be a direct port from Double Dash, and the other 3 are similar but with some technical differences. In the files, they're differentiated by different names of team members, being Hayase, Narita, and Yabuki. They take significant effort to be loaded into the game, and they can't just be swapped with another course. It's not fully understood why the developers left 4 full versions of this track behind in the game. Magikruiser and Quacker concept art, and Mecha Koopa and Cloud Bikes. I'm combining these 2 entries because they're referring to the same piece of concept art. Concept art for the game shows off lots of interesting early designs, and these bikes are no exception. This early concept art shows the Magikruiser and Quacker in an early stage of design. However, you can also see 2 bikes based off Mecha Koopa's and Lakitu's Cloud, which, though well designed, didn't make it into the game. Early vehicle colors. There were some slight changes to vehicle colors throughout the game's development, and you could see a pretty well documented list of them over at the cutting room floor. One good example is the Bullet Bike, which had different color schemes for 7 different characters. Lap count beyond 3. In normal gameplay, there's no way to increase the lap count beyond 3, though this can be done while modding and breaking the game, like this absolute madman who drove backwards for 2 weeks. It's strange because previous entries in the series like Super Circuit had the ability to go over 3 laps, but it wasn't present in Mario Kart Wii. Also, many custom tracks have more than 3 laps, which was done easily because in the files of the game there are textures for Lakitu's sign that go up to the number 8. Concept art tracks. There isn't a ton of concept art from the game out there, but there were 2 tracks in particular that had early artwork make their way onto the internet, those being Luigi Circuit and Dry Dry Ruins. Luigi's Circuit is fairly similar, but Dry Dry Ruins is much different. Interestingly, an original idea for this track was to have Mii heads on sphinxes. Horizontal wall. The horizontal wall glitch lets you pass through certain floors if the floor is giving wall collision, which is usually done by accident. The most notable use of this glitch is the popular Coconut Mall shortcut. Quacker is the best vehicle in the game. This is kind of a meme because it's definitely not the best vehicle in the game. In fact, it's the 3rd slowest. However, it does have the best acceleration and highest stat total of any vehicle in the game, being 343 points. So in that sense, perhaps it is the best. No, it's really not. I'm just kidding. Offroader flag differences. I believe this entry is referring to the fact that in older builds of the game, the Offroader didn't actually have a flag on it. It was added sometime after the E3 build was completed. YouTube soundtrack Wipeout. Earlier this year, Nintendo took down a ton of videos with their music in it. Notably, it included videos with Mario Kart Wii music. It literally happened to thousands of videos. WII mentioned on Wikipedia article. On the Wikipedia page for Mario Kart Wii, there's a mention of CTGP under the Legacy section. Apparently though, there used to be a much bigger description of it and WII. There's nothing crazy here, just that the fan creation was mentioned on the main Wikipedia page, and that's pretty interesting. Mario Kart X. Mario Kart X was a working title for the game, coming from the word extreme often associated with dirt bikes, given that they would be in the game. However, Super Smash Bros. X, the Japanese title for Smash Bros. Brawl, already had the X, so it was decided that Mario Kart couldn't have it as well. This comes from an Iwata Asks interview that I recommend reading if you're more curious about this process. Mario Kart Emporium is real. So this entry is obviously a joke, but it's suggesting that this place from Mario Kart Wii commercials is real. Check it out.
Kart Emporium! Just look at all these carts! How'd this little beauty end up all squidded? Look at the footage! How'd this one end up so tiny? Look at the footage! How'd this one get all blowed up? You know what to do? Look at the footage! This weekend only, come on down and get behind the wheel. Can't make it down for a deal? Then buy Mario Kart Wii! Rated E for everyone!
As you probably guessed, this is not a real place, but we'll talk about this more later as we actually don't know much about the Mario Kart Emporium. Bob-omb hitbox size. I think this entry is just referring to how annoyingly large the hitbox of the Bob-omb is. Honestly though, it's just part of the chaotic nature of Mario Kart Wii. Rapid Fire Hop Abuse. Rapid Fire Hop Abuse is a technique in the game that's impossible for humans to perform because of its speed. Essentially, you hop at the fastest possible rate, that being every other frame. It's been used to get extremely low tricks off of ramps, initiate a super grind, or even get airtime in very select circumstances, and is essential to task speedruns. Waluigi Stadium Poor Design. So the creator of this iceberg linked a video that's since been deleted when he explained this entry in a comment, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on here, but it could refer to this video by Troy where he describes a particularly terrible race on Waluigi Stadium. Reused assets. While there isn't a perfect list of what was reused, a ton of content including character models was reused from Mario Kart Double Dash, based on how similar these games are visually. Stacked item boxes. I'm not really sure what this entry is referring to. I've reached out to the creator of the iceberg and haven't heard back. It could just be referring to the double item boxes we already talked about earlier, but again, I'm not sure. Sorry guys. Peach Beach sub 1 minute. The current world record with ultra shortcuts for Peach Beach is 1 minute and 0.049 seconds, set by Arrow back in 2020. This is insanely close to a sub 1 minute time. It's begging to be broken. 0.049 seconds, by the way, is literally 3 frames. Despite this, no one's been able to do it. A player by the name of Nim did submit a sub 1 minute time back in 2015, but without a replay file or ghost, so it's believed that this was either cheated or otherwise illegitimate. Who knows, maybe you could be the one to break 1 minute. Bowser's Castle theme is Maple Treeway's theme slowed down. Interestingly, the music in Bowser's Castle is the same as that of Maple Treeway, just slowed down. Okay, well, it's not actually the same music, a remix would be a better term. It's slowed down and you can recognize a similar melody, but there are some different instruments and sound effects thrown in. Either way, they're certainly connected. I'm not going to play the full tracks here, obviously, because Nintendo might come after me, but you can check out a more in-depth comparison here. Mario Kart Wii Physics for the Win. Mario Kart Wii Physics for the Win is a meme within the community that came from Troy's channel. It's something he says a lot, and he's even made Mario Kart Physics compilations. The phrase comes from sometime around 2012, but I'm not exactly sure what video it was first used in. It's obviously poking fun at the fact that sometimes Mario Kart Wii physics make absolutely zero sense. I'm going to sort of brush over this entry. Unfortunately, like any online community, the Mario Kart Wii community has had its fair share of abusers acting inappropriately and dangerously towards minors. I don't want to give any attention to any single name or person, but it has happened and you can look it up for yourself if you're really curious. Remember to stay safe online, speak up when you can, and know what resources are available to you if you or someone you know has been victimized. Also, never support or condone abusive creators. Lakitu can be squished. I have no idea why you'd want to be so mean to the guy that helps you out when you fall off the track, but Lakitu can be affected by environmental hazards under the right conditions. This entry specifically refers to the version of Lakitu that appears when you turn around backwards and can be squished by thwomps if you're in the right spot. Yikes. Miis at Coconut Mall were killed. In the disappointing remake of Coconut Mall, one of the things that has fans angry is the fact that the Miis are absent. This maybe makes sense from a design perspective because the Miis didn't have as much of a role on the Switch as they did on the Wii, but still, it's strange. There's no explanation for their disappearance, so is it possible that Nintendo executed them? It wouldn't be the first time, so I won't rule it out. Peaks controversy. The Peaks controversy stems from Mushroom Peaks, an insanely difficult CTGP course created by Mr. Bean and Chatters. It was one of the first custom tracks ever made, which is why despite many people despising it for its difficulty, Mr. Bean refuses to remove it from CTGP. It's long been considered the first hurdle to get into the game, it's a huge barrier to new players and is often spammed in lobbies for that reason. So new players find it challenging, but experienced players find it boring because once you figure it out, it's just not that fun for some people. Mr. Bean doesn't usually like removing courses, and since this one has some historical value, I'm not surprised he won't remove it. This argument has caused lots of controversy in the community though. Special Cup Carpet. In Bowser's Castle, this carpet has a small special cup embroidered on there. Not many people have noticed it though due to how fast you're moving.
You just got coconut mold. Share this with all your friends to totally coconut mall them.